All right, people. All right, YouTube nation. And me, man, Missa B. And by now, unless you're there under a rock and you don't know nothing about Jamaica, you must know, say, last night being Boxing Night, it would have been the reappearance of the biggest one night show anywhere in the world. And that show is known commonly as Sting. Now, Sting is what, 35 years old? And I can say, in my time I live at the my yard, um, me no miss Sting. Is sort of part of when I was a young man, we used to go what you call pantomime on a boxing night when pantomime open. Well, as you got into adulthood and Sting bust out 35 years ago, me I go a Sting, right? Sting had a reputation again for introducing some of the big dancehall act, and when dancehall really opened up a Sting, I can remember some epic shows which feature people like a Ninja Man. In fact, the show with Ninja Man and Merciless and Beanie Man, when Merciless licked down the two of them. You know, remember Super Cat up at the stadium there, National Stadium, and the buckle flinging incident. In fact, out of that, Sting was rechristened as Fling, and the buckle throwing thing became a feature of the show over those years. And it just amazing that here is something that is so significant, and the indiscipline that has accompanied Sting over the years, that it basically came down to the farce that was delivered last night. Now, Sting basically went on a hiatus after 2015. Again, incident ridden, and so the promoters kind of decided to put Sting on ice, if you will. In a different language, them say you put it on camphor ball and kind of lock it to a little bit. And so you figure that the COVID run and thing, and the promoter them decides that them reorganize themselves. You got sponsors, and it's clear that not the level of sponsorship, one kind of wonder about that. But I want to focus more upon the farce that was presented. In fact, this little video clip here I watch here, I mean, deliberately turn on the sound because, you know, for me, it is the lowest of the low points, and the show have a whole heap of low points. But this part of it, as a man and an older man, me value my woman. Women, me believe, are the crucible of civilization. And so, if we're going to set any kind of example in terms of development as a country, we're going to look to the woman. Them two women up on the stage are two big women. Them are not like a young girl in them, late teens or in them early 20s. Them are big women. Them women, what's she name? Amari, God know where she had up on a stage. How come them two women reach a stage after we deal with people like a Lady Saw and the names that would have come through dancehall, over the years, and we end up with this, you know, the two women them come on the stage and fight all broke. Can you imagine? Here's a show that is being streamed all over the world, right? Because I YouTube me watch it pan. And, equally me know all the people all about the place at the same way them watch the show. And you're there all over the world. Here is at a point in our existence when dancehall under pressure, right? Dancehall under pressure. At home in Jamaica, the public opinion against dancehall, part of it created, to a certain extent by the Prime Minister, who basically declares a dancehall encourage gunman and badman thing in the country. And so you have an opportunity to repackage and redeliver an integral part of the brand Jamaica, the dancehall culture. And this is what we did last night, Now, Sting Sting's 2022 rendition, in my opinion, was riddled with problems from the start, you know. And you sort of wonder, what was the vision of the promoters, you know? Sting, to a large extent, over time has been billed as a clash show. But a part of the problem is some of the artists them we have now not really even worth them salt. And so Sting had a list of artists long like the Bible, right? More artists dep on the bill last night than the amount of books in the Bible. And so how you gonna run all of them people upon a show that have to lock off at a certain time in the morning, you know? Um, Major question. And as a promoter, as an organizer of an event like this, you have to, and plus you have 35 years of experience to do this thing. You have other people who have gone before you. In fact, upon the same night, you had a soca show where me understand sell off, you know, sell off. The crowd in a Sting was a little more than two man and a dog, because clearly you're not doing enough for attract the kind of audience where think market people still turn up because people are looking for something for entertainment. And to a large extent, last night is essentially Christmas in a Jamaica on the weekday, right? So everybody I look for something, and especially the dancehall crowd. But what we seem to forget with dancehall is that the people who are responsible for the promotion are them literally responsible for the direction that the genre take, you know. However you market the genre, that's what it is going to be delivered as. And so if we build dancehall around this clash symbol, you need by now to start to recognize the negative connotation that carry with it. You know, we have seen it over the years, and you know, over time the show did kind of move away from that a little bit. You know, there was a time when dancehall used to bust. You know, we had Maxi Priest. We come on a show. We had I think there was one show I remember watching at the stadium where they bring down Foxy Brown, and you know she bring her like a hip hop thing. So you kind of get the impression that after 35 years, it's like say the promoter them not too clear in terms of the direction where them supposed to be going. And remember, especially given the kind of negative press where dancehall has had in Jamaica over certainly the last 2 years. You know, Prime Minister done tie on the murder rate in the country to dancehall, because as far as him is concerned, are just gunman and badman music the man them put out, you know. Do I agree? No. But certainly what was presented last night don't do us any justice, because essentially what we succeeded in doing is presenting a farce that, you know, as far as I am concerned, you know, and my sister from the University of the West Indies, you know, I watch her agonize. You know, you literally can read the agony in her post. But she made a post on Facebook last night when, you know, she said, you know, I declined all of the invites to attend the return of Sting 2022 after the last stage in 2015. You know, and this is a person who is integrally connected with the genre, you know, because the University of the West Indies basically have a course that speaks to, you know, the cultural studies from the cultural studies unit at the University of the West Indies, and the dancehall and reggae music thing is an integral part of that. So here is somebody who is the voice, the intellectual voice of the music, and you know, when this person, I mean, I call a name, you know, but when this person is turned off, you recognize how bad it is. And as she said, the confusing lineup and the behind the scenes vibrations for 2022 had already told its own stories. You could have seen it as you watch the show. You realize things are good, you know. And then, you know, we'll watch it live like she. The comedy, which is where we may show you right so now with them two big old ass steering woman here, who are behave like say them just a come out of the womb, you know. This is the legacy that Sting will have tie on it for in perpetuity, you know. And so is either how do you then monetize this show going forward? How do you encourage people with money as sponsors to come on board to make this happen? What you have done, you know, is to literally cut off your feet, right, at the ankles. You tried too much things. You know, why can't we do a dancehall show? Let's put on X number of artists that the show can finish on time, right? Let's put the kind of artist that is going to elevate the art form as opposed to dragging it down in the gutter. Where them two women are up on stage, but them a dancehall artists, are two big old grandmother, ass steering woman, right? And this is the best that we can offer. Eh? So when man a lick out against the genre now and I say dancehall a foolishness, what we have done is that we have played in a them hand. You know, me have a program named Sunday Scoops where me do every Sunday we spend 2 hours and we discuss Jamaica music. And we go from the foundation, from the 1950s, you know, and we interview some of the artists them, you know, when we can capture them. And basically what we try to do is lay down an archive of the music, because that's what is lacking with Jamaica and the music, is that we allow other people to come from elsewhere to write our stories, right? This is part of our story. It is negative, right? It doesn't inspire anybody from anywhere to come and put money behind the thing, you know? It is an embarrassment. And, you know, I have only decided to pull out this little piece of the show to think. There were some good sparks from the show, yes, but the cloud that is represented by this and then all of the other things behind the scenes that cause the show to run way past time. You bring on some little, you know, the early part of the show, some little non-entity man where you see them bring on. The man are not supposed to depend Sting. The man need to go up on some little area show and then qualify themselves. So you pick the best for bring them past Sting. Because we have enough dancehall artists where knock on the door that, you know, you can run a pretty good show. But you leave them till 6 o'clock in the morning when police lock off the show. Can you imagine? Sting reach a stage where at 6 o'clock in the morning, police come and decide, say, we have had enough, right? And some of the biggest name them in a dancehall currently don't get a chance to show themselves. It is an embarrassment. And as a Jamaican, as a man who has been involved and taking a bigger involvement in music, I am embarrassed, you know. And, you know, we have succeeded in playing in the hands of the naysayers to show, say, you know, this is a joke. You know, it's going to take the efforts of a whole heap away to try to recover from this embarrassment. You know, it can be done. It's going to be difficult, but it can be done. Because I genuinely believe dancehall is not necessarily the focal point of it, rather, is not the negative side of the Jamaican persona, right? Dancehall come from the street, just like how the rest of the music was developed. You know, the artists them express them experiences, but with leadership, with direction, we can get them to point in the right way. You know, to add insult to injury, this farce is presented right behind Burna Boy who come to Jamaica and literally capture the place and run away with it, right? When we have 20,000 people who pay some strong money for go listen to and watch Burna Boy, right? And we who have our own show of 35 years and we can't keep a good show. It's not a good look, you know. And I am just saying to people out there, you know, we really need to take a stock, because This is not the direction that we want to be heading in. But let me hear from you, my viewers and listeners out there. If you like the video, hit the like button and share with a friend them if you can. Share by your timeline and whatever. But more importantly, too, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'll ask you for subscribe so that when the next video drop, you know, I you that. I'm gonna reach out to my same lady there, because I want to have a one-on-one with her. So, and who knows, we'll probably look at how we can stream that, but so we get a perspective of where do we go from here. But certainly, in my opinion, this performance last night is a black eye for Sting, and hopefully we can turn it around. But let me hear your feedback, let me get a view from you in terms of where you look at, right? And again, more time, Missa B.